ABS.
I gotta get me one of those.
Well, welcome guys. So here we are. So wrapped up the first HPDE event with the GR86 6-speed automatic. And yeah, I was very excited. We were nerve-wracking at first, but what a great experience. So this was my first time doing an HPDE in the rear-wheel drive car, first time doing it in a GR86 and a 6-speed automatic, and also first time running with Mass Tuning, who hosted the event. With Mass Tuning, you get 8 sessions, and you get about 4 to 5 laps per session. So there are more sessions spread throughout. With NASA, you get about, you get 4 sessions, the 5 in a day, but they're 20-minute sessions, so they're almost double. So it was kind of great because it's spread throughout the day. And so actually I missed 2. I was able to sit out 2 of the sessions because it was still early, and as you can see, the first session went out at 9 in the morning. It was pretty much wet and cold. It was 40 degrees all day. So it was a great way to test the daily street setup for this car. So you can see the first 2 laps, there was already an accident. There was a collision, so we got black flagged after the second warm-up lap. And that was fine. Turn 1 took a lot of names that day. Well, as far as like collisions go. But anyways, so the whole goal of today was really to learn the car, and the current setup is a street setup. So it's basically, I want to test the limits of a street setup because I like brakes that have low noise, low dust, and the HPS were the perfect pad for that. And then in addition, I had to upgrade the tires to the Continental DWS06 Plus 225 45 17 from the Premises. The Premises were just too slippery for me. No driver confidence at all with those tires. So that was the main setup. ATE Type 200 brake fluid, the DOT4 stuff, and yeah, and that's pretty much it. And I did swap out the rear differential oil fluid for the Amsoil 7590, and that was pretty much the setup. Just a daily street setup, and I will say, going throughout the laps for the day, it did very well. Didn't have any issues with the brakes. The brakes felt good. Then again, I wasn't pushing hard, so I wasn't really, testing the limits of the brakes at all yet, because I was still learning the car, and I'm practicing, well, 1, smooth movements, and then 2 is how to brake, threshold brake without triggering ABS. So I'm just still trying to learn that, but it did very well for what I was learning so far. As far as loading up for the track, we just bring basic tools: tire inflator, tire pressure gauge, torque wrench, basic socket kit, and then extra oil and coolant. And that was really the main stuff: camping chairs, coolant, a cooler to hold drinks, food, and everything fit in the car. The only thing I haven't tried to fit is a tent, but I think it could squeeze it in, but we'll see. I am signed up for NASA in August in Thunderbolt, so I'm looking forward to running this on a hotter day, see how these tires react during a a hot day, and see what the oil temps were. The oil temps, as I was pushing it, the harder it was to get more comfortable. As you can see, probably in session 6, which you can see in the video, the highest I saw was maybe 237 was the coolant temp. And this OBD reader is reading directly from the OBD port. AN6 does make one that goes in a glove box that apparently has more data and pulls more accurate and quicker information. So I'm going to try to have that upgraded by then as well. Well, other than that, what a great experience. After all the sessions, you can see the sessions I put up. There's 3 videos that you can watch full sessions if you want to check them out. But after the end of the day, the brake dust was very low. The hog pads did great. Then again, I wasn't pushing hard. I was really mostly doing my braking at turn 1, and then also I believe it was turn maybe 6. I'm not sure, but they were just more of like light brakes throughout. But the most of the braking was done at turn 1, and it did great. Let's see. Other than that, I don't, yeah. So the next event, I plan to maybe get a rear sway bar, and I may add like the front negative camber to -2 instead of -1 right now. So the front camber is at -1 and the rear is at -2 currently, and that did pretty well for me overall. So the car responded very well, very happy with it. I think I also do plan to do a drain and fill with the Amsoil ATF. I'm gonna do about 3 or 4 of those throughout the year, so eventually I have all Amsoil fluid. But yeah, other than that, what a great time. You know, I had Jesse. Chad had the Honda Fit. I actually sold my Fit to him, but he had a GE8. Jesse with his BMW diesel. Nick came along. Thanks you, Nick, for hanging out because he hates the cold. But it was just a great day, and with great friends, meeting good people, hanging out with friends, and I got to meet another GR86 automatic owner, which is pretty cool. He was pretty quick. This was probably like his 3rd event, so he was a lot more confident and faster than I was. But yeah, it's such a fun time. I highly recommend it. If you haven't gotten out there yet, it's worth doing it once. And I will say, if I had any tips, leave all the assists on, get to know the car as it is at its limits. Once you start feel like, okay, the car's holding you back, then move on to track mode and practice with track mode on. So I'm not ready for that yet. I still want to do at least 1 or 2 more days with all the Nannies on because I'm a baby. But yeah, other than that, great time. Great platform from Toyota and Subaru. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, hopefully look forward to August and documenting that and see how the car does with those hotter temps. But yeah, oh yeah, and just talk about the mods I ran. I had running a Pennzoil Ultra Platinum 5W20 is what I ran, the oil. Stock, or everything else stock. Remark axle back, active sound disabled. But yeah, that's all I got. So hopefully you guys are doing well, and see you on the next video.
Yeah, go, you go, go.